If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Today's inspiration is to keep you from falling for anything. Hello, 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 and happy Wednesday. You are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am your host, Kimbaley. I'm the one that helps you become the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and family. And thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. Not everyone wants to hear no, but sometimes it's necessary. In today's conversation, I'm going to motivate you to stand up for who you are and your purpose. But before we get into that, let's hear the numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. It is Wednesday, November the 29th. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Cancer. It's a 9 universal month, a 4 universal week, an 11 universal day, with only 48 hours left before November draws to a close. The question to ask yourself is, what do you envision for your December? If you can envision for yourself something new and refreshing, that would be about right. Additionally, you can reasonably expect changes around the home, the workplace, as well as personal relationships. This seems especially true today if you happen to be a Leo, Aquarius, or Cancer, and those born on the 2nd, 7th, 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 29th of any month. Once again, that's your numerology forecast by Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. You can get your numerology forecast every day. Go to a star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can also download it on the App Store or in Google Play. Now back to the show. I stopped eating pork around 15 or 16 years old. It was one of the hardest challenges I had to face during those times. Me not having a desire to want to stop eating pork is not what made this a challenge. What made this a challenge is the fact that my mom always cooked pork or cooked with pork in her meals. I'm not kidding. Even the meatless meals were somehow flavored with pork. So when I came home one day and announced to my mother that I would no longer be eating pork, she said, "You are going to eat what I buy in this house, or you won't eat at all." I knew my mother well, and she was not playing about that. So for the next few years, it was kind of rocky finding something to eat. There were many days where there was not much to eat at all. There were even some of those days when my tummy was rumbling so loudly I couldn't gain control over it. However, no matter how much my tummy rumbled, I refused to eat anything that was cooked with or flavored with pork itself. Plus, Mom reminded me, if you're really all that hungry, you'll eat the bologna that's in the refrigerator. However, as you can see, I survived during those years. But the important part of that is when I make up my mind to do something, I stick to it, no matter what consequences came as a result. Most people call it stubborn. How often do you do things for other people that does not align with who you are or your purpose? Although I exercised my right to stand up for myself during those days as a teenager, things were a little bit different as an adult. There were some times that I found myself going along to get along. Maybe you've even heard of that before. Doing things that I really didn't want to do just to get along sometimes. It'll even make you wonder sometimes, what would a person think about you if you did say no to something? Who knows and who cares? Sometimes that's the best thing to think during these challenges. If it does not align with your purpose and it does not align with who you are, don't do it. You know what? I found over the years going against my natural self just to make things happy really only made things worse for me. I found that in most cases, when I do things that I don't want to do, it doesn't go the way that I plan for it to go. Things just happens. Sometimes we need to consider the fact that when we feel like we don't want to do something, it could be our sixth sense or our intuition telling us not to move forward with whatever it is that you're considering. If we're not listening to that, we could pay the heavy price for something that we didn't even want to do in the first place. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is the word no. A lot of people are programmed to look at this word as a bad word. And no is only just the opposite of yes. Yes is saying, I will do it. No is only saying that I won't. And there's nothing wrong with you if you feel like you don't want to do something. And if you're an adult and you're listening to this, nobody, I mean nobody, has the right to tell you what you will or won't do. Nobody has the right to tell you what you should or shouldn't do because you are a free agent. This became important to me over the years when I saw that time and time again, whenever people needed me, I was always there. But I also noticed that when I needed others the most, they were nowhere to be found. And that's just how things work sometimes. But in that, you have to ask yourself, is doing something that is not aligned with yourself or your purpose worth your sacrifice? Because that's exactly what it is. It's a sacrifice of your energy, of your time, of your effort, and of your work. And I know what you're thinking. What about saving humanity? Great question. I have thought about this one too. The one thing you need to know about this is you are here to serve humanity, right? You are not here to be a servant. Let that sink in for a moment. Now I'm going to break the difference between these two words down. Let's talk about the word serve first. When you serve someone, you give them a portion of what you can spare. Now let's talk about the word servant. Now, if you are the servant, it is your job to give them exactly what they want. And if you give them exactly what they want, you end up depleting yourself. Once you become depleted, you can no longer serve anyone, including yourself. Let me repeat it. You are here to serve humanity. You are not here to be a servant. Don't get it twisted. At the same time, you have to remember that your entire purpose for being here is not only to serve humanity. It's only a part of your purpose. The other part of your purpose is for you to be here to evolve and grow. Oftentimes, if you're holding on to things that don't align with you or your purpose, it will bring you down, causing you difficulties in growing in your personal development. That's a key sign to let you know it's time for you to let go. When you notice that you're taking away more from yourself to give to somebody else, bingo, you've gone too far. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. My mom thought I was going to fall for that baloney. No, not me. I had to stand for what I believed in. I had to align with myself and my purpose. What about you? Have you fallen for the baloney? Meaning, have you ever given up so much of yourself that you found that you're no longer aligned with who you are, or you're no longer aligned with your purpose? Sure, it happens from time to time. There's nothing wrong with it. It means you have a big heart. But let's address the elephant in the room. The word is no. It's not a sentence. It's not a phrase. It's plain language so you can understand. Sometimes it's best to say no to preserve and protect yourself. Someone once taught me, you drink from your cup, you share the overflow. That way, you'll always have more to give. In other words, it's okay to serve. Just don't make yourself the servant. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.